Hey, what's happening YouTube? Chris Gardiner here, and today I want to show you about this pack and what I keep in it for my real estate photography that I do typically every day, at least through the week. So, Canon bag, just the right size for me, nothing particularly special about it. First, let's start with the camera. We got the Canon 5D Mark IV with this 16-35 f4 IS lens. Yeah, good combo. I was using the 17-40 up until maybe about August of this year when it kind of stopped focusing for me and it just slowed down my day way too much. I actually like that range better. Love getting the extra 5mm on the end of that versus getting the extra 1mm at the front of this one. You know, kind of the 16 versus 17. In addition to those, I use these Canon 600 Exrt flashes, speed lights. They're all on their shoes. They're for, feet, whatever you want to call them. So these are really great flashes. They've been the same power level, more or less, guide number as the 580EX and others, but these were the first ones that introduced the radio triggering with the groups. And I really liked that at the time. I've had these for, I don't know, maybe 10 years now. Love them. I still have 2 more, but I really only need 3 for real estate. In addition to that, I keep, obviously, batteries for my Canon camera. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just, you can't ever run out of batteries. You can't let that happen. So I refuse to allow it. If you haven't seen these, they are, something I swear by now that, ever since I got my first set, I probably started with like 2 or, 1, 2, 3, 4. But now I have dozens of these things. They hold my AA batteries. Positive, the little nubbin pointed out to me tells me it is charged. And when I have the negative flat end, I know that that one is discharged. In some of the other pockets we have memory card holder, waterproof, SD and micro SD. So micro SD for the drones, sometimes GoPros, and SD for the regular main cameras like the 5D. It also takes CFast, CF fast, whatever, I don't know, but I don't really need to use that, so that's all fine by me. I keep it as, labels out means it's free, ready to record. Backs out, I know it's one of the cards I have to download when I get home that day. So backs out, So battery for Ronin M, which I use for my video. In here, this piece is critical to my operations, low tech, my favorite. Allen key keeps my legs on the tripod from swinging around. I hate when they get loosey-goosey, like all of my Manfrottos have lately, unfortunately. Still use them, don't know why. Here is a little credit card sized Swiss Army utility. Haven't really needed it at a shoot. Don't even know if I've used it, but it's one of those things. It probably is best inside my camera bag because it doesn't really take up any space, and why not, right? USB battery, pretty handy for some other stuff I use, which I will show you in a minute. Let's see what else is here. We've got, okay, this is holder for the Rode Wireless Go agent interviews on video. I use this, and that is actually what I'm using for this video right now. So I can't really show it to you, it's just an empty bag. This is the transmitter, so this is what goes on top of my camera. Gives me ETTL, grouping, power levels of each of these flashes. I can make that A, B, and C. And I can control each of their outputs as a ratio of each other that the camera's going to measure for me. I don't even have to, I don't have to mess around with the power levels on stuff like, oh, is that a quarter or a half power for this room? Like there's really far less guessing around when you can offload some of those calculations, because really that's all they are. They're just calculations, and you can let your camera do them if you are trying to accomplish photos on a tight turnaround for real estate clients, as I often am required to do. So I really love having this feature. There's a lot of other things about this and these flashes combined that I like. But maybe, if you think that's worthy of its own video, how I use those for real estate, let me know. I'll make that into a video. We also have business cards and pencils. I'll put this stuff back in here. It doesn't need to be out. And finally, here we have some other low-tech stuff, tape, because that's sometimes useful. A single, well, this one's also critical to my operations, low-tech toothpick, because the iPhones, damn iPhones, this connector, this is what I have to plug my drone into sometimes, and it gets so jammed up with just little bits of pocket lint, and it seems to affect the operation. So if it ever doesn't connect when I get to a shoot, nothing's worse than not having something to dig it out with. Like sometimes I get somewhere and there's literally only gravel. We also have lens pen and lens cloths for wiping stuff down, keeping it all nice and tidy. So that is that. And finally, this is the piece no one will have seen before, and this is, it is a custom camera controller, or, at least one of the brains behind the operation. It's something I made myself, so no one will have seen it before. It takes, it offloads some of the work of, taking away a need to touch the camera. So this is wireless trigger. It allows me to dial in custom programs, so I can do, maybe this is a certain way I like to shoot exterior photos versus interior photos, and I have each of those dialed in. Maybe you have a certain way you like to shoot twilight photos, and that can be dialed in. Certain flash exposures you like to use. So let's say, for your flash shots, you always like it to be at the max sync speed and as close to f8 as possible, and then whatever ISO it has to be for the nice windows. So yeah, this gives me a lot of the functions that I rely upon for real estate photography. I've been using it all this year, so that means it's been tested on probably somewhere around 400 to 500 properties. It's been dialed in over the months. So, now we're in December. I started it around January. This is massively improved from the original, what I would call iteration of it. And, all the little things that you don't want to waste your time doing at a real estate shoot, or even necessarily afterwards when you get home. This helps you organize your photos too. Is kind of offloaded to this device, which I've put together. I want to show everyone more about it soon. Let me know what you think would be some great features, or what features you think I might have already built into it already. And I'll try and answer some questions in the comments. In the meantime, thanks for watching. And we'll catch up with you soon. Keep shooting and take care.